dead members of Scientology, and those who were forced to suicide because they had no other choice in their universe. I'd like to say thank you very much for coming out and expressing your belief in free speech. Thank you very much. Scientology has run an operation since its inception called Operation Snow White, and it has been a organized conspiracy to take information critical of Scientology out of government and news media files so that there was nothing bad that people could see. They have even had members steal books critical of Scientology from the Library of Congress, so that when you write your congressman and you say Scientology is bad, why don't you do something, and he sends a little memo to one of his aides and says, get me something from the Library of Congress. It's not there. It's all about information control. So that is why the internet will be their Vietnam. This is going to be the end of Scientology. Anyway, Operation Snow White ended up with the criminal conviction of Mary Sue Hubbard, Henning Helt, and perhaps almost a dozen other Scientologists, high-ranking Scientologists. The wonderful L. Ron Hubbard, the man of such immense character that he let his wife take the fall for his crimes, had his own members cut his name off the Guardian's office orders, so that the evidence, when it went to court, wouldn't show that Hubbard was the one in control. Just about everything that you see in Scientology is pretentious. It is arranged to look a certain way. They want it to look good, and you won't be able to find anything bad if they had their way. And that was the entire purpose of Operation Snow White. They actually made passkeys and broke into the U.S., an assistant U.S. Attorney General's office, IRS counsel office, and took copies of materials that were critical about Scientology. They tell their members, we were convicted of stealing copy paper.
Yeah, right.
But when you describe this to the police and officers, make sure you point out that jail time was served for these offenses, and they were not treated well. Anyway, the Scientology needs to be raided again by federal authorities, and if they were to look at all of the documents that are at their various locations, they would see that Operation Snow White is still being run.
Hey Arnie, Sue Taylor's taking a run for it down the street. See her go?
Yes, Sue Taylor is their official PR person. Anyway, that's it for Operation Snow White. Thank you so much for coming out to visit. All right, one more request, Operation Freakout. There was a young Jewish writer named Paulette Cooper. And Paulette wrote a book called The Scandal of Scientology. I think it was published in '71. She ended up being sued 19 times. At one point, she was prosecuted by federal authorities for making a bomb threat against Henry Kissinger. At one point, a girl knocked on her door doing a survey at Save the Whales or something, and when they handed her the survey form to sign, there was a piece of paper on the back. The piece of paper on the back had been taken from her home by her boyfriend, who also had been supplied by Scientology. And because her fingerprints were on it, they used that piece of paper to type the bomb threat, and that was used to convict her of making that threat. She didn't get cleared of it until after the 1977 raid, when the actual document to do this was found, and that was called Operation Freakout. So this is what you're dealing with. And Operation Freakout was Operation Snow White, trying to make bad things about Scientology disappear.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Arnie. Arnie is a true veteran of these protests. He has probably been fighting them since before many of us here were born. So let's give it up again for him.
Stop us all! You cannot stop us all!
The cake is ready if you guys are...
All right, the cake station. We need the table.